I'm a footwear designer. I'm an industrial designer. I've been designing shoes for almost 15 years. Before that, I was a toy designer for Marvel Comics. And when I design shoes, it's to create something different and unique with features and benefits that set it apart from competitors. It's not because somebody's hyping it up. I wish it was that easy as just filling out an application at a sneaker factory. I went to school for industrial design in Boston, and after that I was a toy designer for a couple of years, and somehow a lot of toy designers wind up making their way into footwear. I don't know why. I don't really see anything similar about it. But I started out working as kind of a design assistant for a little bit for a small company outside of Boston that was basically like a in footwear. If you've been in the footwear industry a long time, they call you a shoe dog. And this place was like a shoe puppy mill. Like they would take young kids out of school, pay them $10 an hour, $12 an hour, nothing, and you learn. You learn the industry. You learn how to design shoes. It may have been sometimes for New Balance or Saucony, and sometimes it was for shitty foreign brands you never heard of. But there were so many people in the industry that wound up coming through this little tiny design office outside of Boston, and that's where I got my start. And after that, I moved out to California, and I worked for a hiking boot company called High Tech. And after that, I moved back to New York for a design job with Dante, which lasted all of a minute. I was out of there in about a month, and went up to Boston again to Puma. Was there for about 5 years. Then went to Sperry Topsider, complete change of pace from Puma. But when I started at Sperry Topsider, it was 2005. I was there for 2 years and got let go, actually, to be honest, and had a 4 or 5 month severance. Here I'd strike out on my own just as a consultant, doing design work for other brands, which I still do. And I wound up getting asked by sort of a local sneaker celebrity at the time that maybe you guys know, I don't know, Rob Hepler, to be with him on an episode of Chronicle, which is a local news magazine that they were filming. And I had been painting sneakers, like painting Jordans sort of in the Dave White style at the time while I was still freelancing. And they were down at the tannery on display, and Hepler saw them and he's like, "Yo man, you want to be on this TV show with me?" So I wound up doing this show with them. They came down here to this very studio, which looked different at the time, but they were talking about my t-shirt, some t-shirts I was trying to design, not successfully, and the paintings, and how it was to work as a corporate designer and a consulting designer. And they were filming B-roll, and while they were filming some B-roll, the producer said, "So you've done all this stuff, what do you want to do next?" I was like, "Well, I'd like to design my own line at some point, have my own brand." I thought nothing of it. Well, they wound up airing the piece to Chronicle, and at the very end, the host was like, "So what's next for sneaker designer Darren Hager? He's going to launch his own brand next year." And they basically kind of outed me, because I really hadn't thought about it and didn't plan on doing it. And then when they said that, I was like, alright, well, I sort of know what I'm doing. And wound up going from there. And a lot of it going forward from that point to actually having a brand was a lot of just knowing people from being in the industry, being a smart guy, not wanting to work for people again. I don't get along with some people, usually people in authority, and I just didn't want to work for people again. So I was like, alright, well, how the fuck am I going to do this? And it took a lot of time, and I talked with a lot of friends and a lot of people in the industry, and slowly made my way through. Was able to get into a factory, which wound up screwing me pretty hard. And after a factory change and a lot of changes, sort of found my groove as far as what the designs for the shoes should be, and very slowly people were starting to get into it, and it's just been building from there. And experience does a lot for you. not only did I have a lot of experience as a footwear designer, you know, working in corporate, but I do every single part of this job. I do every single role. Design the shoes, source the shoes, develop the shoes, go to China, import them, work with the warehouse, creative direction. For a long time I did the website, did the photography, I do all the trade shows, do all the sales, I do all the PR. I get the shoes on all the celebrities. I talk to all the stylists. I go to FedEx, I go to UPS. I clean shit out of my house. You name it, I do it. I create the barcodes that go on the shoes. I work with Bloomingdale's. I work with Amazon. I work with some little crappy urban store down in the southeast. All of them. When someone calls up Heyday Footwear, they're not talking to customer service, they're talking to me. And that's what appeals to a lot of people, is that they're talking to the source. They're not talking to someone who doesn't give a shit. Not everyone loves my shoes, and I don't expect everyone to. But there are a lot of people out there who do, when they realize that they're talking to the guy who has literally poured every ounce of sweat and blood and soul and money into this brand. It comes across. People dig it. And you know, that's what I'm trying to do, is connect with consumers. And I want to connect with them, and they want to connect with me. I mean, the whole idea of Facebook and connecting is, I mean, that is my brand. It's about bringing design to the people. And I'm not saying I'm going to do what everyone wants, but I show people how I design what I design. I'm designing new stuff every single day. I'm not relying on one design to be my name. I mean, this is a lifestyle brand. It's 360. Footwear, marketing, lifestyle, apparel, headwear. I'm doing everything. And I'm doing it all myself. I can explain it to you very easily how you go from the point of view of an artist creating art to actually, you know, being in business. Turn around, turn the camera up there. What does that quote say? The most beautiful curve is a rising sales graph. I'm here to make money. I mean, I can make anything look good, or just about anything. If you're a really good designer, dude, fuck art. This is not art. Design is a business. And I'm here to be in business and make a lot of money. Put a lot of shoes on people's feet. So, you know, there's definitely a difference between creating something that, okay, well, 2 people are going to like it, but they're going to say it's fantastic. And then you come out with it anyway, and then you lose all the money on it because, okay, well, 2 people liked it, or I liked it, why doesn't anyone else like it? I don't care. I don't care. My goal is to sell shoes. Hopefully they're going to be really dope-ass shoes that people are going to want to wear. But the most beautiful curve, the sales graph going up. So you just got to do what you got to do to make money. Hopefully it all balances out in the end. You know, I mean, people don't want to. You don't want to sell your soul for a paycheck, but let's be realistic, man. Times are tough. You got to do what you got to do. Hopefully, you know, if you got enough talent or you enough heart, some part of you will rub off on what you're doing. Even if you're collecting garbage, man. Maybe it's the relationship you have with the people on your route every day. You're friendly. You don't throw the garbage cans all over the fucking street and leave the lids all over the place like anyone else might. Maybe you just do it in a nice way. That's leaving your mark on what you're doing. People appreciate that. Even if you're doing something you don't want to do. Be nice. Or be cool. Hopefully with Heyday Footwear, I'm able to do both. I'm creating what I think are really cool shoes, but it's validated because other people think they're really cool and other people are buying. At the end of the day, you know, I may not want to do a black shoe with red straps, but if a black shoe with red straps is what is going to sell next season and sell out so that I can earn a living and take care of my family and go on to the next season and down the line sell the company, and go on to something bigger and better, then I'm going to do black shoes with red straps. Even if I want to do orange shoes with yellow straps. If that's not what it's going to sell, there's no reason to do it. Like, someone else can do it. I've been in this business long enough to know that there's a balance between what you want to do and what you got to do. The work ethic is a really important part. I mean, you know, with anything, but especially with being in footwear. I mean, footwear is a capital-intensive business. It takes a lot of money to get into this business. You see some cats that manage to get in with no money, or they say they have no money, or they partner with someone, or whatever. But I'm not going to name any names, but there's brands out there that you can tell, okay, you can tell what their work ethic is, or what their experience level is, or how much money they put into it. I mean, product speaks for itself. If your product looks like shit, who cares if you're in the fucking business? I mean, you want to be in the business to say you're in the sneaker business? Okay, yeah, that's cool for people. If you want shit to stand out, you gotta work your ass off. But you also have to know when to, not when to say when, but the goal should not be to work 24 hours a day. So you gotta learn how to work efficiently and work smartly. Nobody wants to work 24 hours a day. And even if you do work hard like that, you can't keep it up forever. And then even if you keep it up for a long time, something's gonna suffer. You know, you got a family, a girlfriend, a job, in school, hobbies, friends. You know, all that stuff's gonna go away eventually. So you have to work really. Make no mistake, you gotta work your fucking ass off for anything. Doing it on your own. But being in the footwear industry, it takes more than just hard work. It takes some luck, some talent, a lot of networking, connections, knowing the right people, being the right person, being there at the right time, and a ridiculous amount of work. I get people all the time calling me up, wanting to hire me to design stuff for them. And if they're not in the industry already, like not a footwear brand, I don't bother. I don't even bother wasting my time talking to them anymore. They'll, oh, well, how can I get in the business? Or, oh, I got an idea for a shoe. Well, you know what? When people say, well, how do you get into the business? My answer is, don't even bother. Don't even try. Because you can't do it. You just can't do it. I mean, if you're not already working for someone in the industry, it's just not going to happen. Or the chances of it happening are so minuscule that it's not worth my time to even talk to you. Because it's not going to happen. They're not going to have the money. They're not going to know what they're doing. They're not going to have a business plan. They're not going to know how to sell the shoes. They're not going to know what goes on after the first season. They're not going to know anything. There's so much involved in being an entrepreneur, running a footwear business, not something with just t-shirts, but something with hard costs, like outsoles, like materials and design, manufacturing in Asia or elsewhere. Bringing the stuff over, freight, ocean freight, putting on containers, import duty, getting a bond. I mean, it's just so ridiculous how much there is. Sometimes I don't even know how I do it, but I've got so much invested in this already that I'm like pot committed, you know, to use a poker term. I mean, I got so much invested in this already, I can't quit. And you know, just when days are the darkest and you think, oh man, I can't fucking do this anymore, I can't believe this shit happened, something comes along and you're like, wow, I can't believe Trey Songz is wearing my shoes in his new video. The Heyday brand is just, it's working its way across the world. And it's really inspiring to see what's happening and to hear people who are actually excited to talk to me or hear from me or watch me on YouTube or something. I mean, it's crazy. Why the hell would anyone be interested in talking to me? But it's happening. And that makes you like, all right, I just worked 20 hours a day for the last 4 years. I don't hardly see my family anymore. I don't ever not have an iPhone, an iPad, or an iMac within reach, ever. But, you know, these little things make it worthwhile after a while.
I'm on my heyday shit, I'm on my heyday shit, fresh and innovative, I'm on my heyday shit, I'm on my heyday shit, I'm on my heyday shit, fuck you bitch, get off my dick, I'm on my heyday shit, hey, what's happening?